Snapchat, good morning, what's going on? I'm feeling a little bit dusty after last night. We had quite a sizable drinking session yesterday. Question of the day. I'm about to go to the car wash now. I'm going to take Lucy down to the car wash to get a bit of a scrub-a-dub-dub. But when I come back, I'm going to answer this question. Specifically, I want to address the last part of it. How does growing the other areas of life and focusing on all the other areas of life affect your finances? They're all linked. Everything's linked. Okay, let's do it. How does working on all the other areas of your life contribute to your financial success? They are linked. And what's going on at the moment online is that there are many people now doing teaching, and they're specialized in one particular niche or one particular area, and they're probably very good at that. But there's few who do it all. There's few who do all the areas and who are actually knowledgeable in all the areas. So I hope to bring that when I launch lewismocker.com. That's what I hope to bring. Here we go, 7 areas of development. Take a screenshot now. We're going to focus on this guy and talk about how they all sort of tie in with it. We'll work top down, starting with health. Health, and how does that affect your financial wealth? Well, if you're sick and you're fucking dying, you don't have a whole lot of time to work on the money game, right? Oxygen, shelter, water, sleep, homeostasis in the body. You need that first. If you don't have that shit sorted, what are you going to do? If you're sick and you're fat and you hate yourself and you got the chronic pain, you got no energy, and you go to work, you're not going to have any energy to go and work on the money game after you get home from work. You got no energy. So we'll draw a little link there. You can see that there's a link, right? What about wisdom? Wisdom, I'm not talking about academic smarts. That's got little to do with your financial success. I'm talking about real wisdom. And I define wisdom as the speed at which it takes you to realize that the good, the bad, the happy, the sad are all the same entangled event. The universe is neutral. The wisest people don't get swayed by emotional oscillations much. The less wise that you are, the more polarized in judgment that you are. The more this is bad, that's good. The more black and white you are, this is going to be really good. You infatuate with money or success or this or that. And the less wise people go and attach stories and emotions to things that are in actuality neutral in the universe. They're very emotional. They fucking oscillate. What did Warren Buffett say about emotions? He says, until you can learn to manage your own emotions, don't ever expect to manage money. You manage money, you got to have this shit sorted out. You can't be a crazy emotional motherfucker. You got to be centered. You got to get your wisdom. Business. What might that have to do with wealth? Have you ever seen anyone attain a great amount of financial success without having a business in some form? Maybe it happens. Maybe it exists. I haven't seen too many cases of it. You go through the billionaire list. You go through the Forbes rich list. You go through the millionaire list. They're not fucking going to work for a boss. I remember when I was a second-year electrical apprentice, one of the other apprentices came to me on site and he said, you know what, I've been thinking about it. He said, I don't think you can get rich working for a boss. I said, you just figured this out? I said, oh my golly gosh. I thought that was kind of universal awareness. I thought everyone knew that, right? If you want to make the big money, you want to get a business. Maybe you can do it as an employee. I haven't seen too many cases. I'm sure it's possible. But if you want to stack the odds in your favor, you want to go and create a business. Either a business that serves positive sum or a business where you beat people. If you're doing positive sum business, which is a traditional business, and you're providing a product or a service or an idea, you have to know how to serve people. That's a people business. If you're doing zero sum, you need a skill. So, definitely, what's going on with this fucking pen? Definitely a link here. And that brings us to the next one, relationships. You're going to need to know how to deal with people, especially if you're doing positive sum business. You're doing a business that serves people. You got to know how to serve people. If you can't talk very well, if you can't write very well, if you can't communicate very well, you're going to have a hard time in business. You're going to not be able to sell anything, and you're going to have a hard time making money. The other component of relationships is your family dynamic and your intimate relationships. If you don't have your shit together with that, that's a good way to lose half your money real quick. So if you bring low self-worth into your relationship dynamics, including your family, you get fucking pushed around. A lot of people running guilt patterns with their mums and dads. They want to give all their money away. Even teenagers here on Snapchat, 20-year-olds here on Snapchat, I get it every single day. Mum and dad have racked up debt, they haven't got their shit sorted in business, or they failed this or that or the other, and they feel guilty and they want to give their money away. The only reason your parents ever make it to 50, 60, 70 years old and they haven't got their shit sorted out financially is because they've probably been investing their money in stupid investments. Giving them more money is a stupid investment. So they did stupid investments and they had a fuckery of a life. What are you going to do now? Do more stupid investments? You'll have a fuckery of a life, you'll end up just like them, and your kids will have to support you. So half the game in your relationship empowerment is self-worth. You got to bring self-worth to the table. You got to know what you're worth. You don't fucking give your money out of fair exchange. That's ridiculous. Rescuing desperation. Health, wisdom, business, relationships, it all links back to your financial success. Are you seeing the pattern here? Are you seeing this going on? Social leadership. Let's talk about that for a sec. If If you want to have average income, you can go with the crowd and blend in. You can blend into the crowd. You'll get away with it. If you want to have extraordinary income, you're going to have to stand out in some way. And if you stand out, you're going to have to be ready to stomach some criticism, some challenge, some haters, some naysayers. They will fucking show up. Let me show you a little chart. Here we go. There's a little target I sent Nick, one of my coaching clients who lives in the UK. This is a praise reprimand table. Let me zoom in a little. Firstly, understand that praise and reprimand will be conserved. If you have a heap of people praising you, loving you, infatuating with you, like a Justin Bieber, you're going to have reprimand. The difference between praise and reprimand is that we are biologically wired to love the praise. When we get praised and loved on, we get the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins running around the brain. It feels good. When we get the reprimand, it doesn't feel so good. So we will limit ourselves to the degree that we can stomach reprimand. If you can stomach reprimand from one person, you'll play a small game. And you'll probably be a worker. If you can stomach praise and reprimand from 20 people, you could be a boss. If you can stand it from 2,000 people, you could be an entrepreneur. If you have the cock and balls to stomach reprimand from 100 million people, having 100 million people hate you, you could be fucking Donald Trump. You could be a president. And that's one of the reasons he's the leader of the free world at the moment. He's the fucking president of the United States. That's social leadership. You have to be able to stomach reprimand. And it will be conserved by the praise, so it'll be neutral. But if you get emotional and you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the awareness yet, and you think that the reprimand's really painful and you're chasing the praise, you'll never get there. You've got to have a vision that transcends that. And then finally, your spirituality. And I'm not talking about dogma, going to church and giving up 10% of your income through tithing. Fuck that. I'm talking about the force that animates your physical body. If you're a human being and you're watching this, you have a life force in you. When you fucking drop dead and you're fucking dead, the life force has exited your body. That's what I'm talking about, spirituality. Your spirit or your soul has longings and callings. You're called to certain things. You love certain things. That's unique to you. If you're not in touch with that, you'll have a hard time. I'm sure many of you experience when your soul's on fire. When something happens or you put yourself in a particular position or a situation and your soul ignites. You get a rush of enthusiasm and energy. Sometimes maybe the hairs on your arms might stand up and you'll know that you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll know that whatever it is that you're doing, this is what you're being called from within to do. You love this thing. Now, if you experience that and then you don't develop enough courage to go and pursue that and dedicate your life to it, you're going to have a hard time making money. You might try to do the socially accepted route. And if the more socially acceptable route is a clash against what you're really being called from within to do, what your soul's desire is, you won't have the sticking power. You'll be distracted. You won't put commitment in. That's like your soul saying, you dumb fuck, what are you doing? Stop doing this shit. You don't care about that. You don't love this thing. If you don't love it, don't do it. You're not going to be successful anyway. Every successful person I've ever met, proper success, I'm talking mastery success, not just the people who racked up a couple bucks. The people who are really successful do what they love doing. The Elon Musks of the world, the Richard Bransons of the world, they would do what they do today, even if they didn't get paid a fortune. They do what they love, the money's a side effect. But I see many, many, many people chasing the money, chasing the dollars, doing something that they don't even like doing for the money. And they think that when they get the money someday that they'll be happy. You will climatize to all of your achievements in the physical plane. Nothing of the senses will ever satisfy the soul. The only thing that'll satisfy the soul is thank you, I love you, grace and gratitude. And it's very hard to be graceful and grateful when you fucking do something that you don't like doing and you figure out that you've been chasing this bullshit all of your entire life to realize that it really wasn't that important to you anyway. This is why my two fundamental tenets of personal mastery are empower the soul, empower the senses. When you get them both, you're laughing. All 6 areas contribute to the remaining area, and this happens in every single possible combination. Everything helps everything. They're all linked. I hope you enjoyed today's little mini lesson. If you have any follow-up questions, send them through. If you have a question of the day for tomorrow, send it through. Chat soon.